It's a Dodge Ram 1500. We're going to be talking about diagnosing four-wheel drive problems. This one has a 4.7. Take my advice for what it's worth. I'm not a mechanic. I was not trained to do any of this. Do your research before you make any changes to your truck. So this truck has an automatic transfer case with a 6-speed manual transmission. What was happening is when I was driving my truck for a few months prior to me changing the transfer case shift motor, is when I'd shift into four-wheel drive, it wouldn't shift very readily, or I'd have to go back and forth. It'd take it a minute. And when I went and looked on YouTube, there weren't a lot of videos on how to diagnose what your problem was. There's a lot of videos that I saw that talked about replacing an actuator or replacing the transfer case shift motor, but I didn't see a whole lot of videos about diagnosing it. So I figured I'd make this video talk about what my problems were. Hopefully they would help you diagnose whatever your problem is. So what normally happens is when you shift into four-wheel drive, you reach and turn the knob, makes a couple of clicks, some whining noises, four-wheel drive light flashes, it shifts. The same thing happens when you shift out. And the light comes off. What was happening for me is the light would just sit there flashing and it wouldn't make any clicks. Okay, underneath the truck here we have what is affectionately known as the four-wheel drive actuator. It has 4 bolts here on it. There's another one up there. That's how you remove it. It's got a gasket, all those fancy things. Plug over here. It's located on the passenger side of the differential, and basically what that YouTube video I was watching was talking about said if you take the actuator off, it has a little shift fork in there, and if you take it off and you just have somebody shift into four-wheel drive, you'll see the actuator, the shift fork physically move back and forth. It starts over, I believe it's on this side in two-wheel drive, and when it shifts into four-wheel drive, shifts over there, pushes a gear over that locks the axle shaft in. Okay, so back here is the transfer case. I believe that as long as you have automatic transfer case, it will be one of 2 options. This one is a new standard gear 243, or new process gear, or whatever company name is. They changed it at one point. Basically up here is the shift motor, transfer case shift motor. There's a bolt here, another one up right there, you can kind of see it, and then one more on top. Not gonna be able to show you that, but basically what I think goes on when you shift into four-wheel drive is, if your transfer case doesn't turn, then the actuator doesn't change gears. So I hope that helps you guys with diagnosing some problems. Another problem that a lot of people have that I saw in the YouTube video was the constant velocity axles would strip out on them on one side or the other. There seemed to be several people who had that problem. Sorry about the video quality. But so the one guy who said that the actuator was moving back and forth with him, his truck was actually shifting into four-wheel drive. There was a mechanical failure in between the transfer case and the tires, and that was the CV axle that ended up stripping out. So hopefully this video helps some of you guys who might have the same problem. helps you with diagnosing, so you don't have to go through and try different stuff. I would guess that probably most of the time when you have something go out, it's going to be your transfer case shift motor and not the actuator, because that's probably why nobody ended up having that as a no. There were no videos that anybody put on the internet about that. Hope that this video helps some of you guys out. Sorry for my poor quality explaining. Like I said, I'm not a professional. Take it for what it's worth. Good luck. You can go ahead and make any comments if you guys know anything that I don't, or even if you want to ask me some questions about it, maybe I'll get back to you at some point.